Welcome to Bible Stories with Activities. Today's Gospel reading for the third Sunday of Advent comes from the Gospel according to Luke.
The crowds asked John the Baptist, "What should we do?" He said to them in reply, "Whoever has 2 cloaks should share with the person who has none, and whoever has food should do likewise." Even tax collectors came to be baptized, and they said to him, "Teacher, what should we do?" He answered them, "Stop collecting more than what is prescribed." Soldiers also asked him, "And what is it that we should do?" He told them, "Do not practice extortion, do not falsely accuse anyone, and be satisfied with your wages." Now the people were filled with expectation, and all were asking in their hearts whether John might be the Christ. John answered them all, saying, "I am baptizing you with water, but one mightier than I is coming. I am not worthy to loosen the thongs of his sandals. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire. His winnowing fan is in his hand to clear his threshing floor and to gather the wheat into his barn, but the chaff he will burn with unquenchable fire." Exhorting them in many other ways, he preached good news to the people.
In today's Gospel reading, we hear the crowds asking John the Baptist, "What should we do?" And John the Baptist tells them that he is baptizing them with water, but one greater than he will come who will baptize them with fire and the Holy Spirit. So in today's Gospel, we see how John the Baptist is pointing the people towards Christ. So as we do our activity today, I want us to think about how we keep our spiritual compasses, our hearts pointed towards Christ. How do we prepare our hearts to always be focused on Christ?
Today, we will be making a spiritual compass to help remind us to point our hearts, which are our spiritual compass, towards Christ. The materials that you will need are the 2 templates attached to this video, coloring supplies, a paper plate, scissors, and glue.
All right, now that you have your materials, let's get started.
In today's gospel, we hear about John the Baptist pointing the way to Christ to all the people that he is talking to. So our templates today have pictures on them of things and people that will help point our hearts towards Christ. So using your coloring supplies, color the pictures on both templates. The second template contains a cross to represent Christ. It has a heart for your spiritual compass, and then the arrow to point your heart towards Christ. Once you've finished coloring, take your scissors and cut out each picture. Now taking your paper plate, glue your heart in the center of your paper plate and glue the arrow coming out of your heart, and then glue the cross at the top to make sure that your heart is pointed towards Christ. Then along the sides of your paper plate, you can write the cardinal directions to make it look like a compass, and then glue the pictures of the people and the things that can help you to grow in your faith and stay pointed towards Christ. Your parents will help point you towards Christ. Praying the rosary, receiving the Eucharist. The Blessed Mother will help point you towards Christ. Reading faith-filled books, watching television shows that help you to grow in your faith. Your parish priest, going to church, praying. All of these things will help keep your spiritual compass, your heart, pointing towards Christ.
All right, now you have your completed compass to help remind you to keep your heart, your spiritual compass, pointed towards Christ. And you can always look back on this and think about all of the people and ways that you can continue to keep your spiritual compass pointed towards Christ. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you and your family have a truly blessed third week of Advent.